to winning isn't easy. The 6 reasons a medical resident must get a disability income insurance policy now. Look, I know throughout your career, you are going to, and probably have already treated patients who never expected to become disabled. One day, that patient could be you. Now, I watched my father become disabled when I was in junior high school, and I know the devastating impacts of disability, not only on my father, but I will tell you the devastating impact it had on our finances and our family's financial stability. So I'm often asked, should a medical resident purchase an IDI policy? And my answer is yes. If you can afford it, you should be doing it now. I know, and you know, that your current health status affects your insurability. And if your health changes ever so slightly, it could disqualify you from future coverage, lead to exclusions, and certainly lead to a higher premium. So you should be applying while you're young and healthy, because that gives you the best chance to get full coverage. Secondly, it's more affordable when you're young, and you're never going to be younger or generally healthier than you are right now. Disability insurance premiums are based on age and health, so locking in a low rate can save you thousands in the long run. And number 3, you can tailor the coverage to your exact needs. Options include things like student loan repayment riders, partial disability or residual disability riders, where you can work part-time and still collect disability benefits, cost of living adjustments, future insurability options that allow you to increase the amount of your benefits without additional underwriting, own occupation coverage that protects your ability to work in your chosen specialty. Now, I want you to remember at 4, that residency coverage ends generally when your training ends. And if your health has changed during residency and you haven't secured an IDI policy, you may not be able to get coverage or an affordable coverage later if you're having issues. And believe me, you've seen it, I've seen it. Things can change on a dime. And while you may be healthy tomorrow, you might get hit by a bike, as you're going back to your apartment. You could be involved in a motor vehicle accident. You could have a slip or fall. Things happen. Life happens. And so you need to think about that. Also, number 5, GSI policies don't offer adequate long-term protection. As I've talked about, unless you have a pre-existing condition, I don't really think a GSI policy is for you. It doesn't have the same level of customization or long-term value that a well-designed IDI policy does. And I will tell you, number 6, legal rights are stronger under individual policies. Most policies provided by medical associations or an employer are typically governed by the ERISA statute. And it's a federal law that you unfortunately will learn a lot about, because ERISA governs not only disability insurance, life insurance, but health insurance. And so you in your career are going to be learning, if you haven't already learned, about the wonderful, not so wonderful world about ERISA. ERISA is not a friendly place for anybody, much less doctors, particularly if you are disabled. So you don't want, if you can help it, to have an ERISA-based policy. You want an IDI policy. It falls under state law that offers broader protections, including the right to sue for bad faith, punitive damages, and the ability to recover your attorney's fees, even bad faith. If you're serious about protecting the investment that you're making in your education and your future, don't delay. I think that the right disability insurance policy is not just the right financial tool, it's a professional necessity. And it's a decision that you should make now. It's one of the first business decisions that you're going to make in your medical career. And it's one that can impact you for life. If you think I'm joking, I'm not. I represent residents, I represent physicians, all of whom can become disabled at any stage of their career. I represent physicians who never thought that they would become disabled, but they made the wise decision, like my father did, to get a disability insurance policy. And now they are collecting those benefits because they made that wise financial decision. Please protect yourself, protect your family, protect your future income. I know what it's like to be inside the family of a disabled a wage earner, to watch the process of a loved one accept the change in their identity, to deal with the impact of not being able to work on the family finances and the family future. It even impacted my entire college and law school career. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Winning Isn't Easy. If you found this episode helpful, please take a moment to like our page, leave a review, and share it with your family and friends. And please subscribe to this podcast. Join us next week for another insightful discussion of an episode of Winning Isn't Easy. Thanks for listening.